Welcome to this review of the Aqara Hub M3. I've used this device for over a week now and I decided to delete HomeKit and start all over with the Aqara Hub M3 as my main smart home hub. So let's find out if this is indeed possible, what the limitations are of the Aqara Hub M3 as your main smart home hubs, but also the possibilities. Let's look at my current smart home setup. So I have a Philips Hue bridge, 12 Hue lights attached to that, a Hue motion sensor with temperature and a light sensor inside, 2 IKEA ceiling lights attached to the Philips Hue hub, a few dimmer switches and a tap dial switch. From SwitchBot I have the SwitchBot Hub 2 with Matter and 4 SwitchBot bots. Then the Nuki, I have a smart lock, 2nd generation. Next I also have Aqara devices, so of course the Hub M3. I have the Camera Hub G2H, the light sensor, a motion and light sensor P2. I have 2 door and window sensors P2 and a Cube T1 Pro. From Tado I have the thermostat V3 Plus. And last I also have a Matter over Wi-Fi plug and a NFC tag reader which I use with Home Assistant. So let's start with Philips Hue. Setting up the Philips Hue bridge in the Aqara Home app is actually quite easy. So let's show the Philips Hue app to set this up. If you go to the Settings tab and then Smart Home, you can press the plus button in the right upper corner, add other apps, get pairing code, click next, and there it is. This is your Matter pairing code for Philips Hue. Let's switch to the Aqara app to add the Hue bridge. You can press the plus button, add accessory, press the little button in the right upper corner, enter manually, then press the Matter pairing code and here you can paste your code. Yes, if you click next, it will ask you to add this accessory to your home. So you can do this. In my case, this will fail because I already added the Philips Hue bridge to the Aqara Hub M3. So then your Hue lights are added to the Aqara app. I had to change the names because they weren't recognizable. But the lights are there and you can just control them like you can in Apple HomeKit or the Philips Hue app. The dimmer switches and tap dial switch, however, do show up in the Aqara app and you can see which button was pressed and when, but somehow it's still not possible to add an automation based on a press of the button. So when you try to add an automation, you can only do that based on the battery status. So for now you cannot use that in the Aqara app and you have to use the Hue app or the Apple HomeKit app for that. It's currently not possible to group your lights from Hue, but you can make a scene to still make this work. But this function is still not added for Hue lights. To wrap up on the Philips Hue part, the Hue bridge can be added to the Aqara Hub M3 together with all the lights. That's working fine and fast. The Hue motion sensor shows up. You can create automations. Even the IKEA ceiling lights I added through Zigbee to the hub still worked. The dimmer switches and the tap dial switch show up. You can see the history of presses on buttons, but you're not able to create an automation to set a certain action to a press. And next to that, it's not yet possible to add a lighting group. So you need to make a scene to group the items you like in order to easily control a group of lights. So now let's talk about the SwitchBot products I added to the Aqara Hub M3. As you can see, this worked. I added the Hub 2 to Aqara with the Matter code from SwitchBot, and now I have multiple SwitchBot bots available in the Aqara app. So one SwitchBot bot I use to activate my ventilation, so I can just press a button and my ventilation will start, and the other ones I use to make my intercom of the apartment smart. I was also able to import the on and off button of the SwitchBot Hub 2 to the Aqara app, so I can see when a button is pressed, but again I was not able to attach an automation to that. Also, the temperature and humidity sensor of the Hub 2 are not shown in the Aqara app. With regard to my Nuki smart lock second generation, this one does not support Matter, so I was not able to attach that to the Aqara Hub M3, so I just had to use the Nuki app to control the lock, but this all goes automatically anyway, so that didn't bother me much. Most of Aqara's own products of course work with the Hub M3. Only one of my door and window sensors, P2, I wasn't able to connect that one to the Aqara Hub M3. After a few minutes of trying to connect, it just fails every time, over and over again. However, one of them does work, so I'm not sure what the problem is. I'm still able to attach it to HomeKit, so I don't think the sensor itself is the issue. So let's hope that Aqara will release an update in the future to fix these kind of issues. It's also still not possible to adjust the sensitivity and the reset period of the motion and light sensor P2. So I also hope that Aqara will release this functionality soon. Next to the possibility to automate the button on the door and window sensor P2. I was also not able to attach my Tado thermostat V3 Plus, also because it does not support Matter. As I didn't use it anyway in the last few weeks, that was no problem for this moment, but I would like to see my thermostat in the Aqara app someday, but I probably have to update my thermostat to the Tado X that was just released with Matter over Thread. Then a few of my other devices. I had a Matter over Wi-Fi plug. This was added and I could use it quite well, so that was nice. Then I also have Home Assistant installed. I have a NFC tag reader, and of course I couldn't add that to my setup because that's just not compatible. So after using the Aqara Hub M3 for over a week now as my main smart home hub, I have to say I'm quite surprised how much I could do already with the Hub M3. So I was able to control my Hue lights, add automations based on the Hue sensor. I could control my intercom, my ventilation using SwitchBot bots, and of course all the Aqara devices. There are still some stuff that needs improvement, such as the support for automation based on presses on dimmer switches, etc. Also the support for sensitivity, reset period of the motion and light sensor P2. It would be nice. And of course I wasn't able to add all my devices to the Aqara app because not all my devices support Matter. These devices do support HomeKit, so that's why I still would like to use HomeKit as my main smart home platform. The possibilities of adding third-party Matter devices to the Aqara Hub M3 is a major step for Aqara, and I think in the future when all our devices support Matter, then I think people can really choose the Aqara Hub M3 or maybe the M4 or whatever as their main smart home hub and the Aqara Home app as their main platform. If you also would like to use Apple HomeKit next to the Aqara Home app, you can also easily create a Matter code for the Aqara Hub and add this one to Apple HomeKit, and then all your Aqara devices will appear. For the Philips Hue and SwitchBot hubs, you can also create Matter codes in the Aqara app for those, and you will just be guided to add all your devices to the HomeKit app, and also most of the names of the devices are just matched there. So that's quite nice. You can easily switch from one platform to the other. Okay, that's it for today. I hope you got a better idea of the possibilities of the Aqara Hub M3. Please like, subscribe and share this video. and check our website yoursmarthomecenter.com for more information about the Aqara Hub M3 and about smart home in general.